Good morning, Wright State University, and welcome to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU. Start your day the right way with us. We will be covering current events in the news, local, national, and from Wright State. We will provide a daily dose of inspiration and positivity to lighten your day. And we will have a special feature depending on the day of the week. So grab your tea or your coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Wright Morning Show. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM for Tuesday, November 30th, 2021. On Discord, we have Laughing Chipmunk this morning. How are you doing?
I gotta take a pill.
You gotta take a pill, yeah. I did that 5 minutes ago.
I went to the clinic last night, or yesterday, and I got more prescriptions, so there's pills I have to take in the morning.
Fun.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. That cough medicine, cough syrup, whoop, that knocked me out like you wouldn't believe last night. Whoa!
So I heard.
But I needed that, I need to get rid of this nagging cough, so I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
Let's get into some current events for today. We have some breaking news from the Wright State Athletics Department before we get into our other news here. Give me 1 second here to pull up the article. Here we go. So the women's basketball team announces schedule changes amid a COVID outbreak in the team. So the Wright State women's basketball game between the Raiders and Marshall today, as well as contests with Purdue, Fort Wayne, and Cleveland State, scheduled for December 3rd and December 5th, respectively, have been canceled due to COVID-19 implications resulting from positive cases within the program's Tier 1 individuals. Per league regulations vetted by multiple membership groups and approved by the Horizon League Council, the contest will be considered a forfeit, which is unfortunate because the Raiders haven't been doing very well. The games are canceled and will not be rescheduled. This puts the women at 0-5 for the season, which means they've not won a conference game yet, and they've lost 5 of them. Additionally, the Marshall game has been canceled and declared no contest. Wright State is scheduled to go on the road to Abilene Christian on December 12th before returning home for an Education Day contest on Wednesday, December 15th against Lake Erie at the Nutter Center. So that is very unfortunate, and I hope that whoever got COVID, that they make a speedy recovery.
Yeah.
Now for local news. From WDTN, a Dayton restaurant collaborates with a rock band to drive recruitment. In an effort to attract more prospective employees in the midst of a worker shortage, one Miami Valley company has taken a creative approach to recruitment. And Laughing Chipmunk, you might be very familiar with this establishment. Chuck Doran, owner of Far Hills Development, the company that owns and operates Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, has partnered with Dayton rock band Night Beast to get community members' attention. That's because so far, many of the company's recruiting efforts, have not been as successful as planned. We're like most other QSR restaurants or quick service restaurants, said Doran. We are experiencing our share of staffing issues. They do seem to be location specific. Of our 13 restaurants, 5 of them we consider staffing critical. To get people into the door and to the job, Doran said they had already tried a number of traditional incentives, including internal incentives for employees to recruit friends, distributing gift cards to customers who applied, passing applications through the drive-thru, and incorporating text to hire. But none of these seemed to work. Then that's when Night Beast came in. You can read more about this incentive at WDTN.com. Now from WHIO. Montgomery County Board of Elections conducts 2 recounts of votes. The Montgomery County Board of Elections is finalizing the general election with 2 recounts. One recount is happening today at 8:30 in the morning, which already happened, for the second position in the office of Butler Township Trustee. The recount is between Ken Betts and Mike Thien, the board stated on its website. Ohio law requires a mandatory recount of any contest where the margin of a declared winner is within 0.5%. 5 votes currently separate Betts and Thien. The second recount will take place December 6th at 8:30 a.m. for the 4th position of the office of Village of Carlisle Council. 6 votes currently separate candidates Will Bicknell and Randall Jewett. So you can read more at WHIO.com. From WDTN, Dayton Children's Hospital says that kids are most vulnerable against the new Omicron variant. The Omicron variant has sparked global concern as cases begin to be recorded across the world. Cases have yet to be recorded in the United States, but some health leaders say that their attention is turning to protect the most vulnerable. Dayton Children's Hospital says that children should be the top priority now. They haven't been eligible for COVID-19 vaccines for very long, so many may be left unprotected with the new variant being discovered. Younger children who have not had the opportunity to be vaccinated are at a significantly increased risk, said Chief of Infectious Disease at Dayton Children's Hospital, Dr. Michael Clate. Children 5 to 11 years old just became eligible for a pediatric COVID-19 vaccine weeks ago, cutting them short on time to be protected against the Omicron variant. Given kids remain most vulnerable because they've not had opportunities that adults have had to get vaccinated, we're still on guard, said Dr. Clate. But some residents say the news of a new variant is not alarming for them or their families. You can read more at WDTN.com. Dade Daily News has an article about a military discount which was expanded for 2022 Air Force Marathon registration, so check that out. From WHIO, more than 55,000 wreaths are needed for veteran headstones in Dayton, according to a nonprofit. Wreaths Across America is still in need for more than 55,000 wreaths to place at the headstones of veterans buried at the Dayton National Cemetery, the organization said yesterday. So far, the nonprofit said it has just over 1,600 wreaths, which is well behind numbers for 2020. Wreaths Across America's goal is to place a live balsam fir veterans wreath at the headstone of every American veteran to remember the fallen, honor those who served, and teach future generations the value of freedom, the group said in a statement. The deadline to order the wreaths is Tuesday, and the ceremony to place the wreaths is held nationwide, including at the Dayton National Cemetery on December 18th at noon. You can read more at WHIO.com. From 10 TV, police and FBI officially closed the investigation into a deadly Dayton shooting. The Dayton Police Department and the Federal Bureau of Investigation announced they have officially closed the investigation into the deadly shooting in the city's Oregon district in 2019. 24-year-old Connor Betts used a .223 caliber firearm to kill 9 people and injured 17 others at Ned Pepper's bar on August 4th. Betts was shot and killed by police less than 1 minute after the first shots were fired. I believe the official time was around 24 seconds, if I recall correctly. According to a report from the FBI, the investigation involved over 125 interviews in multiple states, review of over 950 surveillance videos, accounting to approximately 400 hours of footage, and analysis of electronic devices, social media content, and other evidence. The FBI says the evidence indicated that Betts was solely responsible and was not directed by any organization or aligned to any specific ideological group. An assessment by the FBI to determine Betts' motivation found that his fascination with mass violence and his inability to cope with personal factors, including mental health issues, were the primary contributors to commit a mass shooting. You can read more at 10tv.com. Dane Daily News has an article about Five Rivers Metro Parks, who names the new chief of philanthropy. So you can check that out at Dayton Daily News. From WDTN, sun shines light on an abnormally dry November. Cloudy skies usually block the sun from the Miami Valley much in November, and in 2019, we only saw 2 mostly sunny days. But this year, Dayton has recorded 6 mostly sunny days. And more sunshine means less rain. As of November 28th, Dayton recorded 1.61 inches of rain during the month of the November. This is 2.6 inches below normal. Looking ahead to winter, the Miami Valley typically sees wetter and warmer conditions during La Nina, which is what we're experiencing this year. The Climate Prediction Service issued a La Nina advisory after conditions strengthened in the Pacific Ocean. Average sea surface temperatures along the equator were below normal by 0.7 to 1.0 degrees Celsius. There is a 90% chance of La Nina continuing through winter and a 50% chance through the spring. This winter, we return to La Nina after a neutral break in the El Nino southern oscillation through the summer. And there are 5 years with similar on-so conditions in the Pacific Ocean. There is a table on WDTN that shows the winter season and how it played out in Montgomery County with data from the National Centers of Environmental Information. So you can check that out at WDTN.com. All right, let us go now to your local weather forecast. The current weather at Wright State University, brought to you by Tomorrow.io, is clear, speaking of sunny weather, and it is 39 degrees. The feels-like temperature is 32 degrees. The wind is coming from the west-southwest at 9 miles per hour, gusting to 19 miles per hour. A little bit breezy out there this morning. The relative humidity is 58%. The barometric pressure is 29.94 inches of mercury. The visibility is 10 miles, and the air quality is moderate. Your 12-hour forecast shows clear skies for the entire 12-hour period. Temperatures are going to reach 40 degrees in about 15 to 30 minutes. They are going to reach and peak at 51 degrees at around 2 p.m. today, before starting to cool off after 4 p.m. And now here is your extended weather forecast from the National Weather Service at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Today's weather forecast calls for sunny with a high of around 50 degrees. Tonight, increasing clouds, low around 30. Wednesday, slight chance of rain, otherwise cloudy with a high around 50. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy, low in the lower 40s. It's going to get warmer. Thursday, partly sunny, high around 60. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low in the upper 30s. Friday, a little bit cooler, mostly sunny, high in the mid-50s. Friday night, partly cloudy, low in the mid-30s. And then finally, Saturday, mostly sunny and cooler yet again, high in the mid-40s. And now we go to global and national news for today. First off, we're going to go to the New York Times Morning Edition, and this is by David Leonhardt. He talks about the Ahmaud Arbery trial, which offers lessons for American politics. The most effective way to achieve racial justice can sometimes be to downplay the issue of race. That may seem like a counterintuitive idea, and it could certainly feel unsatisfying to people who are committed to reducing the toll of racism in the United States. But it is one of the lessons of the murder convictions last week of 3 white men in Georgia in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, a 25-year-old black man. I want to revisit the case this morning because it has a broader relevance to American politics. By now, you're probably familiar with the basic facts. Arbery was in a predominantly white neighborhood near his home in coastal Georgia on February 23, 2020, when 3 men in pickup trucks chased down and shot him. Racism played a clear role in the killing. One of the defendants used the slur shortly after the shooting, according to another defendant. All 3 had a history of sending online messages tinged with white nationalism. But nonetheless, the prosecutor in the case, Linda Dunikowski, decided mostly to ignore race during the trial. She accused the defendants of having a racist motive only one time in a single line of her closing statement. She instead portrayed them as lawless figures who killed a young man. Before the verdict, some observers criticized the strategy, saying that Dunikowski was weakening her case by ignoring the defendant's motive. There were a lot of people who thought that it should have been very central to her argument, said the Times' Richard Fawcett, who covered the killing and the trial. One law professor accused Dunikowski of whitewashing the facts, and another professor said that her strategy would be blamed if the defendants were acquitted, but no doubt it would have been. Dunikowski was deliberately leaving out a big part of the story, but she was doing so for a reason, or so it seems. She has not publicly discussed her strategy. She evidently believed that emphasizing race would be a gift to the defense. It would cause the jurors, all but one of whom were white, to retreat to their ideological corners. Conservative jurors would be reminded that they often disagree with allegations of racism. Many political moderates disagree sometimes too, especially if they are white. On the other hand, any jurors likely to be appalled by the racial nature of the case, 3 white men killing a black man in broad daylight, would recognize the role of race without needing to be told about it. They talk more about this in the New York Times Morning Edition if you want to check it out. Some other sections include the anti-Bannon strategy, attacking the design, and also Richard broke down the trial in more detail with help from the courtroom audio clips, and there's a link for that article as well. Some other headlines from the New York Times for today include the following. The World Health Organization called the Omicron variant a very high risk to global health. South African scientists said that while it was too early to be certain, treatments appeared to remain effective. Biden said Omicron was a cause for concern, but not a cause for panic. Pfizer is planning to apply for approval of its booster for 16 and 17-year-olds. The CDC says all U.S. adults should get boosted. Europe is back at the epicenter of the pandemic, according to MAPS. Jack Dorsey stepped down as Twitter's chief executive. Millennials are dealing with rapid inflation for the first time. Elizabeth Holmes, the Theranos founder on trial for fraud, accused her former boyfriend and business partner of abuse. A Simpsons episode that mocks Chinese censorship has vanished from Disney Plus in Hong Kong. I wonder why. The Pentagon will investigate a 2019 airstrike in Syria that killed dozens of women and children. The CNN host Chris Cuomo played an outsized role in the defense of his brother, former Governor Andrew Cuomo. The Taliban has killed or disappeared more than 100 former members of the Afghan security forces since August, according to a report. Barbados became a republic, cutting ties with Queen Elizabeth II. Lionel Messi and Alexia Putellas won the Ballon d'Or, soccer's highest award. All right, and now for Cheddar News and Need to Know. President Biden called the Omicron variant a cause of concern, not a cause of panic, while the World Health Organization warned that it posed a very high risk around the world. The CDC has updated its booster guidance to say that everyone 18 and up should get boosted rather than may get boosted to help protect against the new variant, though it's still unclear what level of protection the vaccines offer against Omicron. Moderna's CEO told the Financial Times that the current vaccines will likely show a material drop in efficacy against Omicron, given the variant's high number of mutations. Stock futures are tumbling this morning on that report. From NBC News, the Supreme Court takes up the biggest abortion rights case in decades this week when justices hear oral arguments in Dobbs versus Jackson Women Health. The case concerns a new Mississippi law that bans most abortions after 15 weeks before the fetal viability standard, generally considered to be 23 or 24 weeks, enshrined in Roe and reaffirmed under Planned Parenthood versus Casey. The conservative court will be charged with answering the narrow legal question of whether all pre-viability prohibitions on elective abortions are unconstitutional. I'm a little worried about that Supreme Court hearing, but we'll see what happens. From NPR, prosecutors in the trial of Ghislaine Maxwell opened their case by telling jurors that Maxwell was involved in every detail of Jeffrey Epstein's life and preyed on vulnerable young girls by procuring them for Epstein under the ruse of a message starting in the 1990s. Ruse of a massage starting in the 1990s. Maxwell's defense likened her to Eve in the Garden of Eden, arguing that she's being made a scapegoat to take the blame for what a man did. We now have Harmony joining us live this morning, running a little late there. How are you doing this morning?
Oh, God. Last minute hoopla, basically, since Harmony will be getting new carpet. She has had to get some things out of the way, so yeah, that's my lateness, tardy. So.
Well, good to have you this morning at least.
Yeah, thank goodness.
All right, continuing on. Barbados has ended British rule, becoming the first part of the Commonwealth in almost 30 years to declare itself a republic. The Caribbean island nation officially removed Queen Elizabeth as its head of state overnight to coincide with the 55th anniversary of its independence today.
Ooh.
Prince Charles was on hand for the ceremony, as Buckingham Palace has said it respects the decision while emphasizing enduring friendship between the two countries. Rihanna was there too, as she was made a national hero during the ceremony. Yeah. All right. Also from Cheddar News, Jack Dorsey has stepped down as CEO of Twitter, a company he co-founded in 2006. Twitter's chief technical officer, Parag Agarwal, will take over effectively immediately. Dorsey ran Twitter twice, first with its founding, and then when he returned in 2015. He's been criticized for being a part-time CEO since he also runs the payments company Square. Dorsey didn't say what spurred his decision to step down, just that he was ready to move on. I'd be ready to move on from Twitter as well.
Yeah, no doubt. Tweeter. Tweet, tweet, tweet.
From the New York Times, CNN anchor Chris Cuomo had a bigger role than previously known in advising his brother, Andrew Cuomo, as he responded to sexual harassment allegations that eventually led the former New York governor to resign. According to documents and text exchanges released by New York AG's office, Chris Cuomo offered to reach out to his own sources to determine whether more women were coming forward with allegations against his brother. He also dictated statements for the then governor to say and shared a lead on at least one of the accusers. CNN, under growing calls to fire its primetime star, says it's reviewing the material. Tiger Woods has given his first wide-ranging interview since the car wash in February that caused serious injuries to his leg. Woods told Golf Digest that he acknowledges the unfortunate reality that he'll never be a full-time golfer again, but hopes to play in the PGA Tour again at some level. He also revealed that, in the immediate aftermath of the accident, doctors were seriously considering amputating his leg. Ooh. Wow. From Today, Another high-profile trial is underway in Chicago, where the actor Ozzie Smollett is undergoing a trial for allegedly making false reports to police and claiming that he was the victim of a racist and homophobic attack in early 2019. Prosecutors say that attack was entirely ginned up by Smollett himself, who allegedly paid two brothers to stage the incident as a way to bolster his career by playing into the pain and anger of racism. Smollett has maintained that he did nothing wrong. The trial is expected to last 2 weeks, and while Smollett could conceivably be sentenced to jail, it's seen as unlikely. How would you feel about being trapped inside a bar with an Oasis cover band for 3 days? And that's what happened to a group of several dozen Brits who had gathered at the Tan Hill Inn in Yorkshire last Friday to hear the tribute band Oasis perform. But a blizzard trapped them in the remote pub through the weekend until a plow finally made its way through the area on Monday. The stranded drinkers said they passed the time doing trivia, watching movies, singing karaoke, and listening to a lot of Oasis covers.
I hope eating some bar food.
I hope so too.
Fried mushrooms and onion rings sound really good right now.
I mean, if I wouldn't want to be trapped inside during a blizzard, but if I did, a bar doesn't sound that bad.
No, as long as there's good stuff going on.
Yeah. All right. Well, that concludes your current events for today. We're going to go ahead and take our first break on the Wright Morning Show. When we come back, we're going to get into the daily reflection. And today we're going to be talking about how to support someone going through depression. You're listening to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Stick around.
What's up? What's up? It's your girl, Kia Kelly, and you're listening to 106.9 WW.
And welcome back to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. It is time for your daily dose of inspiration. Today, we go to tinybuddha.com and talk about want to help someone through depression? Here are a few things to try by Nino Fincher. But first, a quote from Charles Dickens. Good old Charles Dickens. There were two classes of charitable people. One, the people who did a little and made a great deal of noise. The other, the people who did a great deal and made no noise at all.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right. Starting the article. Starts with a quote. It'll be okay, just ... If I could have taken that expression and thrown it at each person who said it to me when I was struggling with depression, it would have felt much better than hearing it each time. Here are a few ways people ended that sentence. Try not to think about it. Cheer up. Get some exercise. See someone about it.
Look at the sunshine outside.
Look at the sunshine outside. It'll be a good day. You'll get better. All well-intended, true, and completely unhelpful. I didn't need to hear advice or pointers or solutions. I just needed them to be present to remind me that I wasn't alone. I was in a new town, totally broken, in despair, having had no physical rest for weeks. I couldn't pray, couldn't read, couldn't sleep, and felt like moving forward was the most insurmountable task of my life. I could write a book about my journey to and through depression. I could list all of the unhelpful things that people said and did, but instead, I just want to share a few things that did make a difference for me personally while I was at my lowest point. If someone you love is struggling with depression, here's how you might be able to help. First off, be present. It is so difficult when we don't know what to do or say to help, but just being present is so valuable. Make it a point to be there physically whenever you are able, and if you're not able to be there in person, be present from afar. My best friend Crystal lived very far away at the time, but she knew about my struggle. One day she called, and when I was too drained to even talk, she started praying for me on the phone. She continued to call every weekend and prayed on the phone for about 30 to 40 minutes while I just sat there and listened, often crying. For a year, that was like someone picking me up and carrying me. I am so grateful for her. You may not do exactly the same thing, but if you can, make yourself present. Physically be with the people you want to help. You don't even need to say much. If you are unable to do that, call or write. A quick note that will take 30 seconds to write. A text that reads, I love you, or I'm thinking about you, or I'll see you soon. You're such a good friend, mother, person, artist, whatever. This will remind them that they are not alone or forgotten. Next, let them talk without judgment or interference. There may not be too many insights you can provide, especially if you haven't been through the same struggle. But listening is such a priceless gift to offer. Most of their thoughts or perspective may be flawed. Depression can distort our perception, but they need the freedom and safety to express them. Then, if you can gently and graciously challenge their thinking, if you think that would be helpful. Shout out to Moogle. Let them cry too. It's okay. It's a release. Feelings need to be felt in a safe environment until they're processed. It's better than holding them inside and letting them weary and crush you. Next, take them for a walk. Somewhere beautiful if possible. And if you could throw a dog in the mix, even better. Nature and animals are so healing. When Winston Churchill said, there's nothing better for the inside of a man than the outside of a horse, he knew what he was talking about. I personally felt like I was being rebuilt from the inside every time I was around trees or just touching a horse or a puppy. Next, help with what they need. Emphasis on they. Find out what they need, not what you think they need. Maybe it's to watch their kid while they sleep, or perhaps bring them a meal they would enjoy. Maybe you can help them clean their desk or a bedroom, a kitchen or a closet. Find out from them what would be helpful. One time when I was struggling, an older woman who met my husband at work learned that I was in a rather tough spot in life and insisted that she and I talk. because she really wanted to help. This lady, knowing that I had just had a baby, asked if I could get a babysitter so she could visit with me and teach me some things about life and parenting. Seemed like it was more about her than me. Needless to say, I didn't want anything to do with her or her wisdom, quote unquote. Hug and hold. A good hug fills the gap between loneliness and belonging and triggers oxytocin along with the rest of the happy hormones. It's so comforting and therapeutic. Remind them of all that they had overcome. They may resist your attempts to show them your strength, but you could state the facts that prove they are strong or determined, and that these qualities are already in them and will assist them in getting well. Finally, celebrate the little victories, because they probably won't. Accomplishing anything is a victory for someone who is barely motivated to do anything at all. Help them see that they are progressing, even if it doesn't feel like it. Hope is what is so needed in order to keep moving forward. And then, after doing these things, you could tell them it will be okay. And maybe they'll believe it. Moogle.
He's distressed.
I wish you well in encouraging those you love. And that was written by Nino Fidcher. What do you think?
Well, I think it sounds pretty good, with one exception of there are some people that you can try to reach out, but they just would rather isolate than have, someone talking, praying, or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's another thing to remember, too, is that there are some people that would rather cocoon themselves and isolate than what you had mentioned as well. Right, Moogle? But, yeah, so for the most part, throw that in there. But I myself, I have a tendency to isolate sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I do reach out because I do want, the support. I don't want to have somebody's comparison. I don't want to have somebody's sage advice. Talk to me about something else. Talk to me about something that's going to keep my mind in a different direction than whatever it is that I'm dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's trivial conversation, so much like, hey, what flavor Crazy Cups we have in today, or which ones did you buy this time around?
Yeah.
Which ones are your favorite flavors? What are you doing today? What have you done? Are you decorating? Yeah, just whatever the case may be, or even a hug. I like my hugs, of course. But for the most part, yeah, sounds like fairly good advice to me for sure.
Yeah. Laughing Chipmunk, do you have anything to add on?
Well, I'm the same way. Sometimes I want to isolate, and there's other times where, I need somebody to talk to. Hold on. And usually when I'm depressed, the three people I reach out to is Harmony, Triple P,
Oof.
and my husband.
Mm-hmm.
Because the three of you always say something to make me laugh.
The Trinity of Evil, yes.
Yeah.
So it's like your wacky sense of humor comes through, and you always get me to laughing.
Or
So that really helps.
Or I spam you with cat videos.
That too. Yeah, because making me laugh, sending me funny stuff and everything, that really helps me, and I mean, it really, really helps. And lately I don't get depressed as, severely as I used to, but now that I have, cats around all the time, and that really helped.
Hmm.
Fur
Gee,
balls.
Around all the time, even
furballs!
though you're in. Oh, you said cats. I thought you said me.
Cat!
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have like 8 of them.
CAT. Yeah. But and then of course, now decorating for Christmas. That always puts me in a really good mood. I love doing this.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's like laughter, funny things, making me laugh. That is the best medicine for my depression,
yeah.
personally.
They say
Mhm.
laughter is the best medicine a lot of the
Yep.
Mhm.
time.
It is.
Hmm.
Wasn't I can't remember the guy's name, but there was a guy that was ill and he watched like all the Three Stooges stuff and laughed himself into wellness.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. There was somebody who was diagnosed with cancer, or no,
Mhm.
this may be a different person. This may be a different story, but I heard about somebody who was diagnosed with cancer. So he went into his home theater and watched all of the comedy movies that he had, and then when he went for his next cancer checkup, the doctor said, "I can't find your cancer anymore."
That's great.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just about tuning yourself, I mean, we all have the ability to reprogram our brain as our thoughts. Some of us have that conflict and doubt happening, but if we can get past that, because that's your ego mind talking, if
Hmm.
we can get past that and we can just get down to our inner strength and our inner core where we're completely at our finest and radiant, and stick with it and just keep believing, then
Yeah,
something profoundly awesome will take place.
definitely. Like we'll finish off. I haven't done this in a while. Let's read a positive story from Chicken Soup for the Soul. Finish off our inspiration with some positivity. This comes from Chicken Soup of the Soul, Blessings of Christmas, Spreading
Ooh,
Joy.
nice.
A quote from Mother Teresa: "It's not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving." This past Christmas season began for me as usual on the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. My mom's sister and I had gotten up early to go shopping. As we were driving out of a store parking lot, we caught sight of a dreadfully thin woman sitting on a walker. She was clearly homeless, with bird feathers stuck to her filthy gray hair and a dirty yellow raincoat. That homeless woman got us thinking about what Christmas would be like for someone who has no place to call home. With no family to turn to and certainly no presents to open on Christmas morning, these people have nothing to look forward to but the cold and lonely place where they chose to camp. Even though we live in sunny California, the temperature could still dip below freezing on winter nights. Where would this woman sleep when the sun went down? Sadly, homeless people are a common sight in our town. On our way home, we passed countless people pushing shopping carts, overflowing with their belongings, and people standing in the center dividers of roads holding cardboard signs with "Just Hungry" written on them. The next day, my mom had a great idea. While we were out Christmas shopping, we purchased some blue tins of sugar cookies and a few boxes of candy canes. When we got home, I helped my mom carefully tie each tin with a festive red ribbon and tape a candy cane on top. Next, we wrote "Call 211 for help" on index cards and taped the notes to the bottom of the tins. Not only will we be spreading Christmas cheer, but now the homeless people will have a number to call that they can get them the help they need, my mom explained as we worked. We put all the tins in the car, and whenever we went for a drive, we searched the streets for individuals down on their luck. Usually, the streets are bustling with people lugging sacks of bottles and cans and carrying sleeping bags. But somehow, when you are looking for something, it always seems to disappear.
Yeah, I don't.
Eventually, we found the woman in the Lowe's parking lot. She gratefully took the tin and whispered, "Thank you, ma'am," as my mom handed her the cookies. As we wished her Merry Christmas and drove off, the haunted look of her hollow eyes still seemed to follow us. Over the weeks leading up to Christmas, my mom and I continued to hand out the tins to spread a little bit of holiday spirit to those who clearly had none. We saw one young man sleeping on the ground next to a Starbucks coffee shop. I think homeless people sleep during the day to avoid having to sleep out in the open at night. My mom quickly got out of the car and placed a tin beside the young man. Hopefully, when he woke up, he found the tin and used a phone to call the helpline. After a couple of days before Christmas, we were driving around with our final tin but could not find anyone to give the gift to. As we started to turn back home, we spotted a police car parked at a deli. My mom and I walked in with the last tin, and after peeling off the call 211 index card, I gave the cookies to a police officer who sat eating lunch with an older gentleman. The officer beamed when I handed him the present and said, "Merry Christmas." I clearly made his day. As my family and I exchanged gifts on Christmas morning, we were surrounded by love, joy, and happiness. We were so fortunate and blessed to have all of the luxuries that we do, and Christmas time makes us realize how truly lucky we are. My mom and I are glad that we were able to possibly send a ray of hope to people without homes to live in, beds to sleep in, and families who care about them. After all, the joy of giving is what the spirit of Christmas is all about. And that was written by Bailey Jet Mills.
Nice.
Yes. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And while we come back, it is Trivia Tuesday. So we're going to get into a little bit of trivia on the Right Morning Show. Stick around. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes on WWSU 106.9.
And now, another Hoganism with Chris.
On WWSU 106.9 FM. We're going to get into Trivia Tuesday now, and today's topic is fruit. So, fruit.
Interesting.
So this quiz is about guessing the fruits from the clues given. This is called Let's Get Fruity, and it's from funtrivia.com by Meow.
All right, let's get fruity.
Let's get fruity. First question. I am a yellow fruit and can be a split. Is it a banana, melon, mango, or lemon?
Banana.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. Banana. Those of you at home, you have about 10 seconds left to lock in your guesses. I'm a yellow fruit and can be a split. Is it a banana, melon, mango, or lemon?
Telling me banana.
Wonder what a lemon split.
We wanna go home. The Banana Boat song.
Time is up. The answer is banana. Yes, banana split. A bit of a favorite of mine. Bananas are an excellent source of energy and potassium, which is why they are the fruit of choice for tennis players and other athletes. Question 2. I'm red and heart-shaped, and I'm often eaten with cream. Is it gooseberries, strawberries, tomatoes, or apples? So,
Strawberries.
yeah,
Strawberries.
I'm red and heart-shaped and often eaten with cream. Gooseberries, strawberries, tomatoes, or apples. Those of you at home have about 10 seconds left to guess in your answers. Um, you've eaten strawberries with whipped cream before?
Oh,
Yummy.
yeah.
Those are the best.
Strawberry
Oh,
shortcake.
Strawberry shortcake is really good, too.
Strawberry rhubarb pie. Oh, yummy.
All right, yep, the answer is strawberries. Strawberries and cream have been another tennis connection. They are the most popular thing to eat at Wimbledon tennis tournament. Interesting.
Interesting.
As well as being delicious, strawberries are good for you and are packed with vitamin C, so you can eat plenty with a clear conscience. Just go easy with the cream.
Lots of antioxidants minus the cream. Yes.
Yeah. Question 3. I am either red, purple, or green, and I come in bunches.
You're a grape.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have
Yeah.
given everybody multiple choices. They should have just,
Plums, apples, pears, or grapes. I got about 10 seconds for those of you who are listening in. I'm either red, purple, or green, and I come in bunches. Plums, apples, pears, or grapes. What is your favorite color grape? Out of curiosity, while we're waiting for the timer to run out. And yeah, the answer was grapes. I'm gonna go with green. I don't know what it is about green grapes, but they seem to be juicier
and sweeter.
and sweeter. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say green, but also when I was a kid, I liked the Concord grapes because of their sweetness too.
I like Concord grapes in drinks, like grape juice. I definitely like Concord grape juice.
I like them all.
And Life Chunk will just eat any grape she finds.
Yeah.
So the grapes are most famous for being turned into wine. They are also good to take to the sick. They are full of vitamin C. Question 4. I am great in pies and make a very thirst-quenching juice. I also help to keep the doctors away. Watermelon, orange, grapes, or apples?
Apples.
Apples.
Yes. Speaking of apples,
Had one of those this morning.
they were giving out free slices of apple pie upstairs yesterday.
Ooh.
And it was delicious.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. So
I have apple pie flavored Baileys over here.
Oh,
Ew,
nice.
that sounds good.
Oh, it is good.
Time is up. The answer is apple. Apple pie is delicious. Not only do apples make a very delicious juice, they are also left to ferment to produce cider or scrumpy. Make sure you eat the skin, as just underneath is where the vitamin C is. Question number 5. They often say I look like a baby's bottom due to my fuzzy skin. Nectarines,
Peaches.
kiwi fruits, peaches, or gooseberries.
This would be nectarines, wouldn't it? Because
Nectarines are not fuzzy, though, I don't think.
well, it'd be peaches
Peaches.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say peaches. Have you ever, Life Chimmick, have you ever seen the peach emoji and how it looks like a butt?
Yeah, I know. Funny.
Nice.
The answer is peach. Peaches are packed with vitamin A, which helps fight the aging process. Oh, we should probably get some more peaches. Going down the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches.
A lot of peaches.
There we go.
The Chinese
Yeah.
began the cultivation of peaches, and all new brides were called a peach.
Cute.
Question 6. I'm packed full of vitamin C, am sweet and juicy, and I help fight colds. Orange, pear, apple, or banana?
Orange.
It sounds like oranges to me.
Yeah.
Good old orange juice when you're sick. They have a lot of vitamin D or calcium fortified orange juice as well. So if you're not a milk drinker, you could get calcium fortified orange juice instead if you wanted to.
Or take a supplement.
That's what I
I
did.
actually
Yeah.
think that grapefruit is a lot better if you can drink it because it's got a lot of quinine in it, and that helps to fight off colds and stuff too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, grapefruit also interacts with a lot of different medicines.
Medications, unfortunately, yes, especially statins and some antidepressants as well.
So, yeah, the answer is orange. Very bitter oranges probably originated in China, Burma, or India. Gradually sweeter versions were bred and were introduced to southern Europe, Spain and Italy, and Florida and California. Question 7. I am made into curd, go well with meringue, and make a refreshing summertime drink. Raspberries, peaches, pears, or lemons.
Lemon.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. They go with meringue, lemon meringue pie.
Tasty.
And a lot of people don't make lemon meringue pie correctly. If you put cream on it, it's not meringue. It's just cream pie.
Mhm.
Isn't meringue like cooked egg
whites.
whites? Yeah,
Egg
that's what I
whites and
thought.
sugar, and you just beat it until they turn into soft, frosty peaks.
The answer, yep, is lemons. Lemons have many uses, including making lemon curd, lemon meringue pie, and lemonade. Half a lemon can clean your bath. Rubbing elbows with a lemon will whiten them and soften them. Sprinkling lemon juice on fair hair in the sun will lighten it. My favorite use is to sprinkle it on pancakes with sugar. Sounds good. Lemon pancakes.
Oh,
The lemon's also good for cleaning, like lemon oil, essential
Yeah.
oil. Yeah.
Definitely. Question number 8. I am soft and squishy, and I'm often connected with a dessert named after a famous ballerina, and I grow on thorny shrubs. Mango, raspberries, blueberries, or strawberries. Soft and squishy, and often connected with a dessert named after a famous ballerina. I grow on thorny shrubs. Mangoes,
I
raspberries,
like
blueberries,
raspberry.
or strawberries. Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
raspberries.
I think.
Raspberries, yeah.
But what about? Yeah, raspberries are soft and squishy. Yep, that is
Yeah.
the answer. Raspberries. The ballet dancer refers to pavlova, that a dessert raspberry pavlova was named after. Raspberries
Interesting.
are my favorites, but are incredibly messy. But they are rich in vitamins A, C, and fiber. Question 9. I'm adored in a chutney and as a fruit, but I am messy and difficult to eat. So again, I'm adored in a chutney and as a fruit, but I'm messy and difficult to eat. Fig, mango, pineapple, or apple. In a chutney as a fruit, but I am messy.
Be a fig or pineapple.
Pineapple's not messy though. I would go fig or mango. Mango can get messy as well.
Not so much. I'd say more so fig.
I'm thinking fig. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, the answer was mango.
Ooh! Wow.
Oh,
Triple P was
Mango.
right.
Mango. No, I guessed fig.
I
in
know,
the
but
end.
you'd said mango before
Fig.
you said fig.
I said fig or mango. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mango chutney, a very agreeable taste and a great addition to many an Indian meal. Mangoes are messy and can be difficult to handle, but the effort is worth it as they are great in salsas and salads. They also
You've
energize
always-
the human metabolism.
I've always heard of apple or pear chutney or cranberry chutney. Never mango. But I
Final
guess it's
question.
Eastern.
This one's easy. I'm very tired and even slightly bitter for a fruit, but I go well with Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner.
Cranberry.
Cranberry, yeah.
cranberries.
For time's sake, we're just going to go ahead and go with that. Of course, cranberry sauce or relish is the perfect companion for turkey, but it is great with cheese, too. Interesting. I've never tried cranberry with cheese.
Ew. Weird.
Cranberries were used by Native American Indians as a natural dye and now today have medicinal benefits, and they are very high in vitamin C. Well, that about does it for the Rant Morning Show today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Be sure to tune in to Sage Calhoun with the Vibe Check from 3 to 4:30 p.m. today. And also tune in next on WWSU Radio at 10 a.m. for Democracy Now! With Amy Goodman and Juan Gonzalez for your international current events. We'll be back again tomorrow and every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on WWSU Radio. Thank you, Harmony, and thank you, Laughing Chipmunk, for joining.
Well, hey, thank you for having me and Chippy, and sorry I was late.
It's all right. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you back tomorrow morning.
Woohoo!
From New York, this